Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Living a life above. That's what we all should be doing. And Annyx Day is joining us here live on Zoom, also on the podcast today, talking in regards to how rapid transformational therapy, one of her specialties, can help you in so many different ways. She's a practitioner, also hypnotherapist, and so much more. So let me please welcome you to the show. How are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you,
I'm
Jill?
doing well. So how do I
Excellent.
pronounce it? Annyx?
Annyx, yes.
Annyx Day. Thank you so much. Beautiful name.
Thank
Where
you.
are
Thank
you
you.
from? Tell us a little bit about
Originally
yourself.
from Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada, and but I visited, different places and stuff. And but yes, originally from Ottawa.
Beautiful. Well, we're excited to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about
Thank
obviously
you.
what you do. It's
Yes,
livinglifeabove.com. That is
correct.
her website. So tell us a little bit about rapid transformational therapy and your technique. I would love to also get to know you. So wherever you want to start.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you again for having me, and I would love to share what I do.
Perfect.
So, as mentioned, I'm a rapid transformational therapy, or RTT for short, practitioner and certified hypnotherapist. I also have a master's degree. It's a Master of Arts Integrated Studies with a focus of work, organization, and leadership. And I also have a bachelor's degree, which is a Bachelor of Arts with a specialization in communication.
Beautiful. Wow. A lot of credentials, which is always important for sure. Can I find out a little bit about where you grew up and what brought you into this field specifically? Was this the field you were planning on going into, or how did you discover, RTT and hypnotherapy and make you want to do this?
Yes. So I'm originally from Ottawa, and I'm currently just about 30 minutes outside of Ottawa, so in Limoges. But and as I mentioned, I've traveled different places. But what brought me here is, you know how everything happens for a reason, and I've had many different careers in my life, and I've done a lot of things, had a lot of amazing careers. I discovered RTT basically just doing a Google search for spa music, and a pop-up came up, and it was Marissa Peer. Marissa Peer is based in London. She's the one who created and developed RTT, rapid transformational therapy.
Hmm.
And I wanted to inquire more about it. I called and I got a lot of information, and they agreed for me to be a student. I graduated last year, and now I'm doing this, and I absolutely love it. I adore doing this. It's awesome.
Well, for some new listeners out there, new to RTT, what is rapid transformational therapy? Would you mind sharing?
Yes, absolutely. So, rapid transformational therapy, like I mentioned, the methodology was created by Marissa Peer, and therefore I offer RTT sessions. So, what I've learned from her, I offer RTT sessions, and it's by way of hypnosis, which accesses the subconscious mind in order to heal past traumas and issues, acknowledge why the client is stuck, and to change a client's way of understanding, thinking, and behaving in a positive manner, all within one therapy session. Um, RTT, during an RTT session, I help you focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's a big difference between other types of therapy.
Got it.
Yes, RTT sessions help in such a positive way so you could live life the way you were meant to live it, to achieve your personal and professional goals. Just to mention a few things that RTT can help with or can be used for: addiction, smoking, gambling, drugs, OCD, anxiety, stress, fears, phobias, guilt, relaxation, food, diet, and weight issues, mild depression, procrastination, career issues and nerves, even public speaking, exams, even fertility, skin problems, relationships, childhood problems, and sleep problems. So I'm running the whole gamut here, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And RTT sessions with me can result in living your best life. I think everybody's searching for this right now, or not just right now, but it's been, out there for such a long time, and people have a hard time grasping, what is their best life, but also achieving personal and professional goals, feeling amazing, finding inner peace and freedom, positivity, relaxation, mindfulness, healthy food habits, confidence, self-esteem, motivation, concentration, memory, sleep, healthy relationships, interviewing skills, and even driving skills.
Wow. Wow, there's so much. Go ahead, continue. It looks like you're gonna add more. Go ahead.
Nope, nope, I'm good. Thank you. Go.
So again, it's livinglifeabove.com. That's how we could contact you.
Correct.
Again, find out more information about you, and you offer both in person and these online sessions, so you can work with anyone
Absolutely.
around the world. Can
Absolutely.
I just start with asking maybe some examples? You mentioned, there's addictions, there's fears, there's phobia, anxiety, stress. Um, because I think a lot of us have been so much more anxious and stressed out since the pandemic, since COVID. Are you noticing an uptick in this type of anxiety and stress with your clients? And could you share maybe some stories of how you've been able to help them?
Yes, a lot of people are sharing that they do have anxiety, or at least an
Mm-hmm.
uptick in their own anxiety, whether it's just being out in public or going back to work, just everything, right? Even depression, unfortunately, that's a really unfortunate one, I find. But I mean, I've helped clients with weight issues. I've helped clients with, their childhood issues. And a lot of it stems from childhood. I'll get into that later on. But I've helped recently somebody quit smoking and somebody quit drinking. So
Wow.
that, falls into the addictions category. But yeah, it's super interesting what I can help with. I've even helped somebody with their driving skills and confidence, just, positive self-esteem and confidence. A lot of us lose that,
Yeah,
right? We lose it. We
it's
have
true.
it. We have it
Mm-hmm.
inside. We were all born confident. We were all born with amazing self-esteem, right? But somewhere along the way, we've
Someone's
learned
pulled and
to lose it.
sucked and
Yes.
and
We
you mentioned
unfortunately,
a lot of times you mentioned trauma, like childhood trauma. A lot of times it gets sucked away. Is that something that RTT works on, focuses on as well? Because some
100%.
people might not know the core, the underlying issue behind their fear, phobia, or anxiety.
Mhm. And so that's the beauty of RTT, because it goes down to the root and the cause and the reason as to why a person has a specific issue. So, as I mentioned, a lot of our issues stem from childhood. And so the RTT methodology, because you're under hypnosis, you're accessing your subconscious mind, which is your emotional and feelings mind, right? Traditional therapy focuses on your conscious mind, right? You're sitting in front of a person. Like right now, we're utilizing our conscious mind,
True.
and it's our logical mind. So you can
Mm-hmm.
talk and talk and talk about something, but yet still not feel that inner peace, that freedom that RTT does bring you,
Yeah.
right? Because you do get to the root and the cause and the reason as to why you have a specific issue, like let's say addictions in the first
Mm-hmm.
place. And it usually stems from childhood. And, or if not, it stems from another event in your life or in a client's life that's happened that kind of was, because remember, addictions is only the symptom, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a symptom of the underlying problem. And
Yeah.
so that's why RTT is so successful and effective and amazing. It's very, very liberating. It's awesome. I would suggest it to obviously everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're just tuning in, it's livinglifeabove.com. We want to remind you, of course, she can help you with so many things. Let me ask you though, I know a lot of people who are smokers want to quit, but how does that work, right? Because then you also have the hypnotherapy
Yes.
aspect. So I don't know if you want to get into that. Are they in combination? How do you know what someone needs?
That's a very good question. I was going to answer the beginning of your question. So again, the beauty of RTT is it combines hypnosis and therapy. That's why we're hypnotherapists.
Got
Right.
it.
I recently had a client call and ask about a session and how long it was. And I said, the session is between 2 and 3 hours. I don't rush through. So typically my sessions are between 2 and 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, I get, he didn't expect my answer because he said that he had gone to a hypnosis, or sorry,
Hypno.
hypnotist
Okay.
years past for his smoking, and he was able to quit, but the session was like 5 minutes, And I said, oh, that's interesting. However, it's evolved and everything. And
Oh,
what
wow.
I've learned, the methodology that I've learned was the RTT. And it's not that quick because it encompasses the therapy itself, right? So it's not just, I'm not just reading a script and you will be a non-smoker, you don't like cigarettes. Like it's nothing like that. So the portion of the session is under hypnosis, like the whole session is under hypnosis, but it's therapy. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're able to access why the person became a smoker in the first place.
Okay.
And usually it's to, get attention. There's a lack of attention somewhere. And therefore, or if it's just, maybe you just want to fit in with
Mm-hmm.
the crowd, right? But again, it's because they felt disconnected,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's based on something. And when you're in hypnosis, that's where your subconscious mind accesses. And then we make not sense of it because it's so obvious. Well, to me, maybe, but we talk through it and this allows for the healing to happen because when you put things in perspective, oh well, you started smoking because you were
Yeah.
lacking attention from your parents or whichever,
Ah,
your sibling was getting more attention than you or something like that, right? Yeah. And
and
that's why that's the beautiful part of the combination of hypnotherapy because it combines both. So it's not a band-aid
okay.
solution.
Okay. Good to
No.
know.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing a little about yourself and how you discovered RTT? I know you mentioned in your notes about your parents being,
Yes.
very respectful, and educated in careers. And explain,
Mhm.
could you share your share of issues? Because we all had issues, right? And
Yes.
how you discovered this modality in the first place.
Yes. Well, I was searching for um, just a better way of finding inner peace.
Hmm.
Because everybody's got issues. You could say that you don't, but some people have more issues than others, and but somewhere along the way we need to heal those issues, right, in order to live our best life, to live the life that we were meant to live.
Hmm.
And so I was just super interested in her approach. And once I started taking the course, I was like, this is phenomenal. This is absolutely amazing. And I felt so blessed to have found her, to just that I was able to learn her methodology. And now that I could actually practice it and help people, it's amazing. It's amazing. But so for the second part of your question, I've had a lot of obstacles in my life. I've had ups and downs, challenges, and everything like that. And I'm willing to share some that I've had to overcome in my personal life. And I've worked very hard to not let it affect my professional careers, no matter what career I had. So that was a huge issue for me. I was able to compartmentalize. You know,
Yeah.
Work is work, and home life is home life. But so, for example, and as I mentioned, a lot of people, if not almost, I would argue, well, a huge percentage of people have had, childhood issues. I've had
Hmm.
childhood issues. I've been in a
Me too. Hmm.
I've been in a bad relationship. I had a career-ending knee injury when I was a police officer, and unfortunately, a death of my best friend. She died of breast cancer 8 years ago. I've had a miscarriage. My husband and I had a miscarriage before our son, and unfortunately, because of that, I suffered postpartum depression, and I was also doing my thesis, or well, I was finishing up my master's degree when all of this was going on,
Oh my
and
goodness.
so I had
Wow.
to rewrite my thesis on top of that, just because I had to tweak it a bit, and
Yeah.
my hypothesis was I just had to tweak it a bit, but I had to like do some new research and rewrite everything. So it was challenging, but I got through it and stuff. But so those are things that I've been through, and I fully acknowledge and understand that not everybody's had the same life, and that's I find it inspiring when I meet clients and hear their backgrounds, hear
Yeah.
what they've been through, because I can certainly empathize with the things that I've been through. And I know that I have, the knowledge base from the RTT to be able to help people, if I can't
Yeah.
necessarily, relate to what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? We all
Hmm.
have feelings. We're all human beings.
Yeah.
We've all had, life is not fair.
Yeah.
Life is so not fair, and it is what it is. However, we always need to focus on, you know, getting out of that victimhood, right? Moving on to a better life. Stop saying, oh, well, this happened to me, this happened to me. Yeah, this happened to me, and it was completely
Hmm.
unfair.
Yeah.
However, I know that I deserve better. I know that
Yeah.
I can have a better life, put that, like, put put that, with peace, and find inner peace from it. Be free from that, and
Yeah.
able to move on with your life. And that's what RTT does.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that and for
Thank
opening up and
you.
talking about yourself. It's important to know that you're not alone.
Mhm.
And clearly, we've all been through our fair share of issues, problems, and makes us who we are.
Yeah.
And what really sets us apart is how we handle it and deal with it. But not everybody's capable of doing that on their own, right?
Mhm.
Some people see mental health counselors, some people
Mhm.
see hypnotherapists, some people
Mhm.
talk to a friend. Don't
Yes.
recommend that though. They're a little judgmental, or family member. But I'm just saying it's good to
Mhm.
have someone who is
Mhm.
what's the word, neutral out of the equation in a
Yes.
sense with the
Yes.
background that you have. So
Yes.
let me ask you, what else in particular did you want to share today? I mean, we still have a lot to get through.
Yes, yes, for sure. Geez, I don't know. I've got so many things that I wanted to talk about. Can we go to the mentoring, and
Yeah,
what I've been through mentoring growing up?
sure.
As I mentioned, I've always looked up to my parents tremendously, and I still do. Each of my careers as well, I've always had a successful person and a positive person that I've always looked up to. Always. I think that's important. Even if it's just for that time frame,
Yeah.
at least it's someone that you can say, "Oh my god, I love how they're living their lives," and I want
Mm-hmm.
that. I want that. And it's so easy to get. You just have to change your mind frame.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's what RTT helps with. And I mentor also my RTT clients in the way that they need mentoring. So whatever they're coming with, their issues, I help them, figure those out, and help them find freedom and inner peace. I know I always say that, but that's what it gives you.
Uh-huh.
That's what it gives you. The following things that I would love to share are things that I live by and I teach my RTT clients. And I think they may sound super basic, but they're so important. They're so crucial. Loving yourself enough to get the help you need,
Mm-hmm.
and to find, that freedom from the issues holding you back and keeping you stuck, because we all have some, whether we realize it or not, or whether we want to admit them or not. The reason why I say love yourself enough,
Uh-huh.
it's it's based on a couple of clients or potential clients that I was speaking with, and they just couldn't. Maybe they're just afraid to trust the process. Maybe they're just hesitant for whatever reason. But you
Mm-hmm.
have to love yourself enough to want a better life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you keep making the same mistakes, you're not learning your lesson. The universe keeps testing you. And if you don't learn your lesson, or don't learn what you need to learn, you're unfortunately going to make the same mistakes over and over again. That's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
However, the minute you change your life in order to not make those same mistakes, your life changes for the better, and the universe rewards you
Mm-hmm.
for it.
I believe in that.
No matter what you're doing, always challenge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Whether it's in your academic, your professional, your personal life, always aim higher than the last time you had to challenge yourself. I think a lot of people forget that. Always put in the effort. It's your life, and only you can live your life. I think a lot of people forget that too. They're we learn this issue of dependence, right? When we're born, we're absolutely dependent on the parents or, our caregivers. But when we become, adults, we kind of forget that we're our own person. We can live with other people, we can depend on other people for certain things, but to make ourselves better and to get what we want, we have to depend on ourselves. So that's why we have to put in the effort. Don't be afraid to put in the effort because it always works out. Be proud of who you are. Now, there's only one of you. I find it so sad when I see people, trying to be somebody else or trying to, it's not to say that they shouldn't, but you were born you, you know? Be proud of who you are, cherish who you are and who you have become and how far you have come. Your past defines you today, but don't let it dictate your future. You can't change the past. We sometimes, we'd all love to change the past, but we can't. But we can absolutely upgrade our future. In essence, if you aren't proud of who you are, change who you are, right? Have courage and faith that your life could be better if you aren't satisfied with it. Never devalue yourself. Now, this is not to say that we all become narcissists, not at all, but it's about exploring your qualities as well as your shortcomings. Determine what you need to improve on and improve yourself. It sounds simple, and it is. When you put your mind to it and you have faith and confidence in yourself, you can improve yourself. Anybody can. And then I suggest that you carry that with you when you wake up in the morning, when you get ready, when you walk, when you accomplish your personal and professional tasks and responsibilities, when you come home, when you interact with the people that you love or with strangers, and when you review your day at the end of the evening, which is what I do. Then when you wake up the next day, you tell yourself, I will be better than I was yesterday. And again, it's not about being narcissist, but it's about being or saying it in a humbling way. And repeat this every day. This is what I do. Never underestimate yourself, ever. You get the best results and life lessons when you are challenged. Be appreciative of what you have instead of concentrating on what you don't. And again, I find that society pays too much attention on that. We need to appreciate what we have. We're here, we're breathing, we're alive, we're beautiful people. We have responsibilities. People count on us, people depend on us, Like, and I'm saying, if you have children, if you have a family, anything like that, right? Be humble, because if not, life will teach you to be humble. Been there, done that many times. And incidentally, I chose my company name, excuse me, based on being humbled by my RTT experience. Living Life Above Incorporated is to rise above the trauma, the sadness, the sickness, the average, the expectations, the median, the rut, the chaos, the drama, all of that. And it's about moving yourself forward to a better life. And it's not to be better than others. The goal is to be the best that you can be. Embrace your errors with humility. See them as a chance to hit the reset button. Errors and failures are the key to building resilience, or at least it was for me. And never, ever, ever, ever give up, ever.
Beautifully said. And you mentioned being grateful, and gratitude is something little we could take a step by today. I mean, some people journal. I'll wake up and I have a 6 and 8 year old, and it's like, let's be thankful for this day. Try to teach the little ones, you got to try to be positive and grateful. Any advice to our listeners? We have 2 minutes left of the show.
Oh my goodness.
Annyx, it goes so quick. Yeah, before we go, my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Geez. If I can share the following quotes. So life, how many minutes do we have?
2 minutes.
Okay. Ooh, okay. So we've all heard this one. Life is 10% of what happens to you, but 90% of how you deal with it. Right? 100%. And I find this
Uh,
super interesting. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go
oh,
instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I love
mhm.
that. Love that. Followers think and talk about the problems. Leaders think of the solutions. And one of the tests of leadership is the ability to recognize a problem before it becomes an emergency.
Mhm.
And if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, be more, and become more, you are a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
absolutely. Yes. And I forgot this one. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. And the leader adjusts the sail.
Beautifully said.
Yep.
Wow. And Annyx, if someone wants to reach out to you, do you offer an initial a consultation with them? How does it work?
Yes. We start with a discovery call. And usually that runs for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And that's just to get all the information that I need in order to, move forward with the RTT session. And then from there, after the discovery call, during the discovery call, we book the RTT session. And and then a lot of my clients have needed one session, and it's amazing. It's truly amazing. It's like RTT practitioners say, it's an experience that you have to
Mhm.
experience yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is.
Well, thank you. If we want to reach you,
Thank
how can we
you.
find you?
Yes, sorry,
It's okay. No.
www.livinglifeabove.com.
Mhm.
Or you can send me an email directly to Annyx, so my name, ANNYX, @livinglifeabove.com.
Perfect. All
Yes.
right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Really
Oh,
pleasure
and
getting to know you. And do you have a
yes.
social media page you want to share or phone number? What else?
I have an Instagram, but I'm currently building it. So yes.
All
Yes.
right. Awesome.
And I'm obviously booking new clients. So I just want to mention that to everyone, to
Perfect.
the listeners and viewers.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Looking
you
forward to
so
speaking with
much.
you again. There's so much more to what
Absolutely.
you
Oh my
do we
God.
could talk about. So
Yes.
thank you for being here. I'm excited that
Thank you so much.
it's our first show is together and
Yes.
looking forward to
Yay.
speaking again. Have a fantastic day. Stay warm in beautiful
Thank
Ontario.
you.
And we'll
You
talk
as
soon.
well.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.